Hey everyone, Adam here. Welcome back to another video and welcome to 2024. I'm super pumped. I'm super excited for this year. I hope you are too. In this video, we're going to be covering the top 5 Facebook ad creatives that you need to launch that we're seeing across the board doing really well. And if you haven't heard of me before, my name is Adam Matthews. I've been in the e-commerce space for over 7 years now and run a company called AQM, basically a growth performance agency that has basically generated tens of millions of dollars for e-commerce brands. But yeah, other than that, let's get straight into the video. So basically what we're going to be going over is top 5 Facebook ad creatives, mainly for the way I break it down in terms of e-commerce brands and in terms of the paid advertising side of things. There's really kind of 2 buckets that I view brands through. It's either a brand that either, kind of solves a problem or, a few problems, or they're kind of have like a lot of benefits and, have like, a lot of benefits talking about essentially. And then the other one is more the fashion, the swimwear, the jewelry, because those are more, identity driven, visual marketing, et cetera. Whereas these, you could test them for fashion, jewelry, swimwear brands, but like that's kind of, I'm going to make a separate video on just top creatives just for those, because they'll be, a little bit different, more visual, et cetera. So, but yeah, without further ado, let's dive straight into it. So first one is the us versus them statics. These ones have been working really well. And there's a ton of different ones that you can go with it, a ton of different angles. I'll show you in a second. This one here for a brand called TrueWash that we're working with is the best one that we're currently running for it. It's just a very simple visual that just shows the effectiveness of the product. So this is more of a visual us versus them. There's no text or anything on it. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. You can actually compare the brand and product to other brands, or you can kind of compare the brand and the product to like the older way of doing things. So this is like, I'll zoom in here so you can see this a lot easier. There's us versus them versus competition. So you can see this one here, day 1, day 30. You can see this one here, more of a visual one. You can see Lomi. Want to track pests or rodents, free of smell, leaks and messes. It looks great on your countertop. Lomi just wins in all of those essentially. Us versus them is just a straight, basically how Magic Spoon's cereal is just way healthier. Crafted versus solid gold. This is kind of a funny one. Not really comparing to a direct competitor. They're comparing to like gold, which is kind of an interesting one. Expensive, likely to get stolen, can't tarnish. So that one's really funny one. This one here from my buddy Spencer, us versus them for their brand CarePod. Talks about the competition does all this. CarePod, none of that. So I really like that one there. This one here, one wallet 10 times tougher. So it's kind of just a visual comparing to that, which I really like that one. And then these ones are more like the old way versus a new way of doing things. You can see this one here is kind of like this, the new floss is just a way better way of doing the old way of doing it. This one here from Space Goods from Matt, who's, a great follow on Twitter, YouTube and everything. Basically kind of comparing, the old way with like coffee and then their newer, supplement that's like a replacement of coffee. So really cool. This one here, I really like these for Ridgewall. It's basically like comparing like a traditional kind of gift that you'd buy for your dad on Father's Day, and then, hey, swap that out. There's a way better gift essentially. So that's the first type of creative. Definitely give that a go. There's unlimited ideas you can do with that. It works really well, especially if you have a brand that solves a problem or has a ton of benefits that you need to kind of hide. Number 2 is a founder story ad. These work insanely well. And I recommend everyone who has, kind of something to talk about the story, if there's anything unique about it, you can kind of go a bit more personal about how, you're working this job and blah, you did all that and then kind of started this business. You could also go just talk about the business's story, essentially. You can see here with Envy in this ad. It's a very simple, just sit down and they just talk about their story and they talk about how they kind of met together and then how they kind of formulated the product and then how they even got on Dragon's Den, which is essentially like the Shark Tank of Canada, and then got a deal and all that kind of stuff. And just kind of talk about the product. And they just incorporated some like humor in it as well. That's just their style. But I would highly recommend doing these. They pretty much almost always work. Like people love stories. And there's just so many different ways you can kind of go about it. It is a phenomenal ad that you need to be launching. It does really, really well. This one here, I like to call this kind of like, this is one of our winning ads here for this brand, True Wash. It's kind of like attention grabbing and then just peppering them with the benefits and the outcome. Nothing about features or anything like that. This is a really, really good ad. And this just like, it's just attention grabbing. He wants just to grab your attention. So check out how the hook of this video incorporates a bit of humor as well. It's really, really good. So let's check this out.
Please don't swipe up. I appreciate I'm a middle-aged balding man with a fairly boring voice, but I think what I've got to say is exciting.
So you can basically see how he's like, please don't swipe up. I acknowledge that I'm like a middle-aged balding man with a boring voice, but I have something really, really exciting. So, you kind of just like, if you're scrolling through and you're like, you see that, you're like, oh my God, who is this guy? It's just like, it's kind of cheeky. It's kind of funny. And then he basically just goes on to talk about how this product is just so good. He's so confident. And then he kind of talks about his money back guarantee on it. If you don't absolutely love it, like, we'll give it back. And it just works incredibly, incredibly well. And he just, so it's just really just like grabs the attention and then just focuses only on the outcome. Nothing about like, hey, we make it with this ingredients, this and that. It's just no features or anything. It's just straight outcome and just the confidence and excitement of the product and just sheer conviction is working incredibly well. So I would recommend testing that kind of format because this is by far the best ad we have right now going with them, and it works incredibly well. So definitely give that a go. Up next is Social Proof. There's almost two parts for Social Proof. One of them is review. So you can see here, this one is a winning ad for Folds right now. The key thing with reviews is, and when you're testing them, is you always want to do different angles. You don't want to always talk about, hey, the quality of something and just, hammering that same angle. You want to come in with different angles. This one here, it talks about the feel of it, and it's a really, really good metaphor. The fabric feels like a second skin. I could sleep in these. Like, it just, the feel of it, the comfortability is just, it is basically the winning angle in this one. Pair that with the citron color and you got yourselves a really, really good ad. But there's a ton of these that you can launch. I'll show you some others. So you can see here, this one, been going with Vor and Lulu for years now, but these are definitely the front runner in my rotation. So kind of almost comparing to like, hey, I was wearing this and now I'm wearing this. This one here is more of a bold claim. I love these. Seriously, the best protein bar I've ever had. Tastes like just like cookies and cream. So it's really like anything bold or like emotional works incredibly, incredibly well. There's another one that's very bold. Best shorts ever. I basically live in them. You'll notice as well too with these ones, it's very clean, easy to read. And then you'll notice that with this one here, it's just very, it's not like a huge paragraph with tons of text. You want to just highlight a couple sentences, 2 to 3 max sentences, unless they're very short. So I would really, really try to keep it short and concise. And then the second one, part B to this, Social Proof, is the article style. This is for a brand that we're working with. They got in the news.com, they had an article written about them. They didn't have this exact headline and they didn't have these exact photos, but what we did is we split tested the headlines and we split tested the photos. We had one photo. We had 2 photos. We had the photo of the founder and the product. We had a photo of just the founder. So we tested like 6 different ones. This ended up being the winner, and we tested different headlines as well too. And then key thing is you want to keep the news.com AU, and you want to keep this, like, keep that article feel to it, like the 3-minute read, and all that. And then this one here, it's just really important to split test the headlines here. Australia embraced a new trend. If you're scrolling along, you like sees, it almost doesn't even look like an ad, a new trend. It just kind of, it piques your curiosity. And then, diverse flavors of handmade gourmet marshmallows. And then obviously you can see the pictures of them, and then boom, you're clicking through and you're super, super interested. I think it has like a $5 CPA right now. It's just doing really, really well. I would highly recommend you test these out. These are some other examples. You can see Daily Mail. It's my holy grail product, the $30 Australian BB cream with over 1,000 5-star reviews. This one here, another news.com.au. Apparently it spent $60,000 profitably. I found this on Twitter. Beauty Diary, women lands major deal with miracle $28 product. Draws you in, gets your attention. There's another one I've seen. Easy on, easy off shoes, step up kids fashion. That's a really, really good one. So there's just a lot of different angles you can take with this. If you've been in an article, any sort of article, definitely give this a run, and make sure you split test a lot of different headlines and split test different visuals as well. Obviously, you can keep the same kind of format with it. That works really, really well. And this one here, reaction video. This one here is basically just like a genuine reaction to opening it. And then also a very good hook in the sense where it's very secretive to start off. So I'll show you here the kind of hook if there's 5-10 seconds of it. So yeah, check it out.
Got the gourmet marshmallows and I have to try them, but I'm hiding from my children. So shh.
So you can see the first 4 seconds. If you're scrolling along, I just got these gourmet marshmallows and I'm hiding from my children. Shh. Like she's kind of like that, just very secretive. Like you're like, oh, what is this? Like, what are these gourmet? You know what I mean? It's not like, hey there, everyone, welcome. I just got these gourmet. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of, it just draws you in. It's like, ooh, like what are these? Like, it's just, it's very secretive. Like, what's she about to open? And you're like, oh my God, I need to watch this. And so you keep watching her. She basically opens it. She shows it. She pulls it out. She's just super excited. It's very authentic. She's going through them. Feeds her kid, and now she's about to eat it. And then I'm going to pull up her reaction. So it's 124. So let's go. Let's watch her eat it.
Yeah. Cherry wrap. Now I like cherry wraps. Don't hate me for that.
So you can see here, she just kind of goes through each one. And then it's just a very genuine reaction. She's like, oh my God, this is so freaking good. Like that's basically what she's saying, like from her reaction. And you can see that. And as long as it's genuine, like it wasn't like, oh my God, this is, you know what I mean? It was just a genuine, like, oh my God. Like, it's just like, as soon as I see that, I'm like, you could tell it's genuine. And you could tell like, oh my, yeah, like I want to eat those marshmallows. Okay. She's even more pumped. I think it's honestly, and then you can check this one here. So you can see there. So the first one there, she was more of like a savory, like, oh my God, that was really good. This one, she's like, oh my God, that isn't. So it's just a very genuine reaction to the different flavors and like different reactions. So she really hooks you in by being like, shh, I got these gourmet marshmallows. And then she really goes on and just like has an authentic reaction to each. So definitely give this a try. Obviously, if it's, obviously food and beverage, very, very easy, but just a genuine reaction to any type of product that just kind of, exceeds your expectations. You're like, wow, that just does really, really well. So definitely give that a try. But yeah, the last thing I'll say too here as well is if you have an e-commerce brand and you're looking to grow and you're struggling with, paid acquisition and acquiring new customers profitably, here in 2024, there will be a link in the description. You don't have to click it if you don't want to, but if you do, it will take you to our website and it allows you to book a call with myself. We're going to see if maybe there's an opportunity to help you out. You don't have to click it if you don't want to, but it's there if you're struggling with growing your brand and struggling with your paid acquisition and getting new customers profitably. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Take even 1 or 2 of these or test all of them. They work really, really well. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope you have an amazing, amazing day, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers for watching. Take care.